Hello everyone! So D23 Expo starts tomorrow. So for this video, I wanted to make it a kind of D23 Expo motivational video to get all of us who are super disappointed about the reservation system excited for the expo. So here we go. Okay, so if any of you are like me and got a little disappointed with the reservation system, which was completely new this year, and I shouldn't have got my hopes up about it, but I kind of did. I was kind of bummed, but then I started thinking to myself, okay, wait, no, this is the D23 Expo. You look forward to this every other year. You've always looked forward to everything happening there. This is just, you know, a little extra perk that you didn't get. So I wanted to give you some reasons to be excited about D23. First off, if you don't get to go to a panel you were looking forward to, remember this: everything's gonna be online. Everything that happens in that panel will be online. Granted, it won't be actual footage of the show, but it will, all the information that they give you will be on the internet. And for some of the smaller ones, I think they are gonna record them and then release them on the D23 page. At least that's what they did last time for some of them. So you might be able to see it that way. And remember that there is always standby lines. So you can get there a few hours early for some of them and wait in line with the other peasants like me. I really wanted to get a reservation to the Broadway show and I didn't, but you know what? I am going to tough it up and wait in the line. That is always an option. And for you gold members of D23, remember there is a special line just for you in most of the shows. Those are all the things to keep in mind when planning on going to see some of your bigger shows. Reasons to be excited about D23. Some big things are coming. We get Disney Plus. We're gonna learn all about that more. I think we know a little bit about it, but we'll get to know even more about it. We're gonna hear about the new movies coming. I think Pixar's gonna give us a little more of some of their upcoming movies. Parks and Resorts, their panel is actually merchandise as well, which has been a big thing for them recently. They've put out a lot of different ears and backpacks and spirit jerseys, so we might get some fun stuff from them too, because a lot of things are happening in Disney parks. The Legends, of course, is going to be great. I've never once been to that panel, and I have not missed an expo yet, and I've never been to the Legends ceremony, but I've heard nothing but good things about that panel. It's just something that I've never really had any interest in going to. Like I said, I'm most excited about the Broadway one. That show, they didn't have a Broadway at the last expo. They did the Alan Menken instead, which was just as good, but I am so pumped for the Broadway. I love Disney Broadway. I think I just said Broadway like 20 times in the span of 1 minute. Did I mention I love Disney Broadway? I hope we get a little sneak peek about what's coming with that as well. In past expos, there have been a lot of panels that have surprised me. One of my favorite standout ones was, I went to the Goofy movie 20th anniversary because I love Goofy movie. I love the music from that movie, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to this one. One of the best surprises was having Powerline himself, also known in real life as Tevin Campbell, came and sang Eye to Eye live, and it was like being at a Powerline concert, and I will never forget that feeling. I also discovered Once Upon a Time at the D23 Expo. They're like, oh, come see a panel and preview the first episode of Once Upon a Time. What's that? Let's check it out. It became one of my favorite shows of all time. As you see over here, I have pictures from that. I've dressed as Emma Swan many times to the D23 Expo and in general. Also been to Storybrooke. You can watch that video here. So we've got a lot of panels that you just didn't expect, and you learn a lot about the history of Disney things. They go a lot into like things you didn't know and behind the scenes stuff. So you never really know what you're gonna get at some of these shows. And you're gonna see some great cosplay, costumes, outfits. It never fails. So that's something to look forward to too. The show floor, for the first time, we get Lucasfilms is doing a big pavilion and Marvel's doing a big pavilion. So those, we might see something special there. My thoughts, it's gonna be exactly like Comic-Con, but you never know. For those of you that did not go to Comic-Con, it will be new to you, so get excited. And the show floor is always fun. They've got vendors and new art and the The stores usually have exclusive stuff. Granted, you do have to wait a little bit for those too, but sometimes you never know. That line can be short and you can sneak right in. That's happened to me many times in the past as well. Get excited for merchandise, but if you are gonna do that, make sure you do a little bit of research before you waste your time standing in a line for stuff you don't even wanna get. And that brings me to the section I want to talk about, a little bit of helpful tips for the D23 Expo for those of you that are attending it for the first time. I want to make sure that it is as successful as possible for anybody who really doesn't know what to expect. So, be prepared to wait in lines. If you want to see something, check early, check often. Just keep asking until you get where you need to be. That being said, make sure you bring snacks and water, because if you are waiting in line, you can't really leave, so you want to have all that kind of stuff with you. Bring some entertainment, make sure you download some apps on your phone, bring a deck of cards, bring a book. All these things are going to come in really handy if you're waiting for a couple hours in a line. Carson and I actually last Expo made a video on what we pack in our bags, which I think was super helpful. So if you want to watch that, get a few extra tips, you can do that right here. You might want to download the app. It has the full schedule on it, everything you need to know. Make sure you read the schedule before you go so you kind of have a little bit of idea what you might want to see and make the time to get to. And check out the map, because the show floor is not complicated, but you probably should kind of have a general idea of where you're going. But like I said, it's not complicated, and once you'll get there, you'll be like, oh, this is super easy. If you're a charter member, there's a special little lounge for you, and if you're a gold member, we get our own lounge as well this year with a penny press machine, which I'm very excited about. But I also noticed on the map that there's a queue for that, so which makes me think that might be a little bit crowded, but you never know. Make sure your phone is charged, bring a charger, and make sure your discs aren't full if you want to take a lot of pictures. This is a time to dress up too. Don't be hesitant if you want to wear a costume or a fun shirt. There are really no rules for costuming and cosplaying at conventions like this. I mean, it should be appropriate and it should not poke people's eyes out, but don't be afraid. There will be lots of people in costume there, full costume. What else? What else do you guys need to know? Just have fun, take a time to breathe, take time to look around and enjoy it, and don't be overwhelmed. Like if you are just feeling overwhelmed by everything, just walk around. Just kind of don't stress about getting into something or getting somewhere. Just kind of be there and enjoy. That's the best advice I can give you, because honestly, I've been to every single expo and I still don't know what to expect for this year. Every year really, because it's all new and you just never know what you're gonna get, and fingers crossed that this is gonna be just as good as all the other expos, and I truly believe that that is going to be the case. For any of you going to the expo, I hope to see you there. I will be there all 3 days, probably from 8 to 7 p.m. So if you see me, say hi. And if you have any questions about the expo, ask me in the comments below and I will try to get them answered before tomorrow so that you are fully prepared for everything that you need to know for this weekend. So, my name's Aubrey. Like I said, I'll be at the expo all 3 days. Hope to see you there. If you want to see my experience from this weekend, make sure you check back next week because I'm going to post everything on here. So make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and you can follow along with me at the expo, and I will see you guys next week. And remember to have courage and be kind. There are a lot of people. It's going to be crowded. If you want to make your way somewhere, do it. But make sure you don't knock other people out of the way when you are doing it. What other Disney quote can I throw in there? May the force be with you, everyone.